pains in your hands or your elbow can oftentimes come from your wrist. We're gonna go over a few stretches today for your wrist that will also translate into your forearm, which is something to keep in mind. Anytime you're working your wrist, you're often doing your finger muscles and your forearm too, and vice versa. They're very tied together, and they might translate up into feelings that you're feeling in your elbow, since that's where a lot of muscle connections are. But without further ado, we're gonna start with wrist flexion stretch. So for this stretch, you want your palms facing down to the ground, fingertips towards the knees, and slightly sit back. So here I'm already feeling the stretch. If this is too intense of a stretch for you with it this close to your knees, you can sit your hands back and then sit towards your feet in this direction. It's gonna allow the wrist to get a little bit of it's gonna allow the wrist to start in a little less of a stretched position before you actually start leaning your weight into it. And you can do this on a table or a bed or a chair. If this is even too much, you can turn your palms forward and lean into it this way. This isn't going to be as much of a stretch for those who already have flexible wrists, but something to keep in mind if you are feeling pretty stretched already. If you have super flexible wrists, then you can start with your hands way out forward and then sit back, but my wrists aren't going to do that anymore. So this right here is a really good stretch for me. And we're probably about 30 seconds already. I forgot my timer, but you can do this stationary or moving. I'll go over the moving part when we get into our mobility exercises, but you can go sideways, you can go in circles just like that. Just whatever you feel is giving you the best stretch for you. Next one is going to be wrist extension stretch. If this is your first time watching, thanks for joining. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. I hope these exercises and stretches are really helping you out. My name is Michael. I've been a coach for over a decade. This channel is for anybody who is looking to fit their exercise and health into the time that they may have in your busy schedule, or if you're new and just looking for a good kickstart, these will be very helpful for you. We'll get back on to the next stretch. Flexors. As I'm editing this, I realize how confusing that can be. So I'm gonna simplify it really quick. This is extension of your wrist. This is flexion of your wrist. So if you're stretching in the flexion position, you'll pull this way. If you're stretching in the extension position, you'll pull this way. You can also word it. If you are stretching your flexors, you want to pull this way. If you're stretching your extensors, ignore my pronunciation or enunciation, you can pull this way. So really, the stretch can be called whatever you want depending on what you're stretching or the position in which you are stretching. So don't let the terminology confuse you, but basically, if you are going this way with your hand, you're extending your hand. If you're going this way with your hand, you're flexing your hand. If you're stretching this way, you are stretching your extensors. If you are stretching this way, you are stretching your flexor muscles. So just want to simplify that because as I'm editing the video, I'm like, this sounds like nonsense, but there you go. Yes, I'm in my pajamas, my hair's messed up, but whatever. Got that out there. Anyways, same idea. Sit with those heels or palms up this time. So to show you that, it's gonna be flip the wrist down, fingers towards your knees, and then let those shoulders relax. If this is too much of a stretch, same thing, scoot those hips up, hands slide back further, and then sink onto your butt. He's always trying to get into the main shot. I'll turn sideways for you. So just like this. And you'll just hang out here. The more those shoulders are dropped, you might feel it more. Ideally, the elbows are gonna be straight if you can get them straight. You can also sit and do this by just holding one hand at a time. I think my head's out of frame there. So you can hold this one hand at a time and go back and forth. You're gonna do that for 30 seconds each side. Ideally, all of these you'll do for about 30 seconds and you'll do them about 2 or 3 times. Just like that. Next is going to be ulnar deviation stretch. So you're going to take your hand, you can relax it on your leg, you can do it free floating, let the arm hang on the side of the table, whatever you like. You'll grab your hand and you'll pull it down towards the floor or towards the pinky, like that, and you'll hold that for 30 seconds. You can also do this by actually grabbing the pinky, and then you'll get a stretch in the finger too, or progressively move your hand up to each finger, and you'll feel that stretch on the inside of each finger as well. And same thing, about 30 seconds, each hand. Making sure we're trying to keep that wrist as in line as possible. So you want to make sure you're not doing this or this as you're stretching it. Technically you can, but if you want to really get the ulnar deviation, it's going to be as in line as possible. And then your other hand. Oftentimes, just like any other part of the body, you might feel this more on one side over the other. So if you feel the stretch real intense in one side but not so much the other, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it wrong. You can always check in, kick the palm up a little bit more if you feel more of a stretch that way. Sometimes it just means that that one wrist is more flexible. And apparently Kuma is enjoying his ball that was shipped by Dylan. He decided to give me a bag full of a bunch of random stuff, and well, Kuma got the tennis ball. Radial deviation, grabbing the pinky, same thing, palm or leaning the hand on the table or the leg, and you're going to lift up here. You can also do this by lifting through the thumb, and you'll get more of that thumb stretch, and progressively going into each finger. Again, all of these about 30 seconds at a time, or each time. This one, for me personally, I don't always feel this stretch. For me, it's the ulnar deviation that I really feel, but when I do the fingers individually here, I feel it quite a bit. You can also do this by straightening out that arm and pulling in. That'll sometimes get a bit more of a stretch as well. And then we'll go to the other side. So this will be the last one of the day. So palm is facing towards me as I let my elbow rest in my leg, getting a little bit more of a stretch on this side. Palm is totally flat as I'm pulling my thumb in, or I should say, pulling towards my thumb, grabbing my whole hand. Again, you can go each individual finger. Usually the thumb for me is the one that feels the most on this. Just one finger at a time. And if I'm actually going to be trying to stretch one finger at a time, I'll be holding it for about 10-15 seconds a piece, or 30 seconds if it really is something that you need to be doing. Making sure you're breathing and relax. Thanks for joining for another one. If you're looking for more stretches, pick this video over here. If you're looking for some exercises or mobility exercises, pick this one over here. Yeah.